welcome everyone. This is V. I am back with another video, elevating her consciousness, because consciousness is divine power. And as I had said before, I am sending you high frequency vibrations because we're going to be talking about planet Earth and the positions of the planets actually, or the heavenly bodies. And it is so important to know, about the positions of the planet. And right now, as we're experiencing Mercury in retrograde, I want to know why, and I'm sure some of you guys out there might want to know, why do we have to survive? So surviving Mercury retrograde in 2022. Okay, so having or being motion in a direction contrary to that of the general motion of similar bodies, and especially east to west among the stars. This is what retrograde means. For the planet Mercury, Mercury is right now is in retrograde, right? So the first Mercury retrograde of 2022 began in Aquarius on Friday, January the 14th. Then the planet moves into Capricorn on Tuesday, January the 25th, which is today. Mercury, named after the Roman deity who served as a messenger to the gods, is the quick-moving planet that governs communication, travel, travel, and technology, actually. It helps us to transmit messages by controlling both what we say and how we process what we hear from others. 3 or 4 times per year, Mercury appears to go backward in the sky, while other planets also go retrograde. So this particular retrograde has the potential to screw up all things related to communication and transmission. Shake ups aside, when Mercury rests, it gives us time to take a breath. So perhaps once Mercury, when this whole process ends on February the 3rd, perhaps we'll have a chance to breathe, huh? Perhaps all that stuff will go away in regards to, shut down, lockdown, I can't breathe and all this. Perhaps all that will go away once Mercury rests from this situation. And it's so important when the planet is in a situation where like it is now. The position of the planet affects our energy on Earth. How about that? So, do you think, put a comment below, do you think that knowing that the position of a planet, if planets are aligned a certain way, can affect us here on Earth? Put a comment below if you are aware of that. So what we're going to be talking about here, family. Okay, so please do your research, because this information is for entertainment, it's for educational value, and as always, please do your research, okay? My divine family, please follow me with this information here, because we're going to be talking about the positions, the planet positions, not just Earth, but these other planets. There are 12 planets, or 12 heavenly bodies. Put it like that, because some of you may not think of the sun being a planet. You may not think of the moon as being a planet. Okay, and Earth is a planet. Okay. So let's move to the next slide. Breaking news here. Listen, I'm finding this news so fascinating. On 12/30/21, a group of scientists wanted Pluto to be classified as a planet again. And if you go back and watch my video, I spoke about that date, which is 2222. Okay? Either way you take it, it's 2222. All right? On February the 22nd, the United States will experience its first Pluto return. This is a once in our lifetime event that denotes the potential for radical transformations in the country. On this date, Pluto will return to the same place in the zodiac that it was during the first, or that it was during the birth of the United States in 1776 for the first time. Because Pluto is the planet of extremes, power, and the underworld. The country will have to reckon with what's beneath the surface of the facade. So facade, what is a facade? Facade is a face. Facade is, perhaps you can say, a veil, something that's covering up something. During this period, and hidden matters may be revealed, changing the dynamics of power. While this sounds intense, know that we've already been experiencing the effects of this cosmic event for years, given that Pluto is such a slow-moving planet. Mysterious Pluto is also making another important connection this month when it forms a harmonious trine aspect with the North Node of Destiny on February the 14th. And we'll be talking about what a trine is later on in the video, right? And we'll talk about North Node and all of that in another video, because I think right now it's just a lot of information right now to process. So we'll just try to take bits and pieces right now, because so that much is all we can chew, right? This adds a powerful sense of intensity and determination to our collective future, giving us strength, resolve, and the ability to transform on a societal level. This positive connection could prepare us for any climactic shifts that take place around the time of the Pluto return a week later. Breaking news, I'm telling you, family. If you go back and watch the video, so what that be? February will be 2, 22, 22. There's a lot of twos, okay? It's even more than 222. But the Mercury retrograde, that's supposed to end on February the 3rd. But it, because of the shadow, because there's a shadow point that's prior to the actual retrograde period, and there's a shadowing point period at the end, which you can still feel the effects of that retrograde, Mercury retrograde, until February the 23rd. Okay. As above, so below. Keep that in mind. I this is a symbol that represents, water, and I think and water and fire, I believe it is. But what's so it's this is something you're gonna see. This is something that you need to keep in mind, that is true across the board, okay? And that's what the triangle, when you see the triangle like this here, as above, so below. What's up in the heavens and what's up, down, what's down below. And basically, we've already talked about a lot of that. But so moving on to talking about the position of the planets. And conjunction, when a planet is conjunct, that means that the two planets sit 0 degrees away from one another. Now, the importance of knowing about these planets and knowing about the position of the planets is the fact that there's energy, and because of this energy, there's some energy that is taking place here that affects you in your experience on Earth, right? It affects your experience on Earth. That's why this is important, because there's energy behind this. So this is what, when two planets are conjunct, right? They're deemed conjunct. That this means that they're merging of the two planets that are experiencing as one. That means that they show unity. It shows perhaps that this means this could be like forgiveness. It could be aligned with your highest purpose. This is perhaps because also about this has to do with dreaming big for the future. If you have, listen, when they had that big conjunction, so this on the left, you see this is a representation of, or a picture showing, letting you know that there was a conjunction that took place between Jupiter and Saturn, right? And so that conjunction foretold, moving forward, and foretold an alignment that is showing you the way to your highest purpose. Okay, and so when you see that, and Jupiter is about dreaming big, okay? This merging, these two planets. So that's the energy that is experienced when this happens, when you have a conjunction. Next, we have opposition. Now, the opposition is when two planets sit 180 degrees away from one another, and they are in an opposition. Okay, this is a point of tension. This is a point, where, it reveals the balance where one energy eclipses the other. So if the one energy eclipses the other, this is like, being a thorn in your side, perhaps a block, a power struggle, which can create confusion or conflict in their energetic realms. So this is a time where you don't want to harden yourself in the face of opposition, right? Because that may you may block your own self. Look for compassion when your situation like this is coming up. You have to look for compassion, which can be a driving force. Okay. Trine. So a trine, when planets are a trine, considered to be trine, this denotes the strongest shape in the natural world. The trine occurs when two planets sit 120 degrees away from one another, supporting each other in expression and flow. This is where you get harmony, angelic support, perfect flow, divine lessons, where you surrender into this loving tide Life feels abundant, blessed, joyful, and perfectly aligned. This is why you notice that in a lot of religions or Christianity and so forth, they observe the Trinity because they know the power there of the divine lessons, the power of their perfect flow where you surrender into the loving tides where life feels abundant, blessed, joyful, and perfectly aligned. Now, when you look at the slide here, the way that I set this up, is not the way generally the signs are set up, because generally the signs are in like I made a few changes, and this is just on the purpose of this slide. This is what I did. This is not the correct, you know, uh, way that these signs are, because Aquarius is usually in the is under the Aquarius would be where Taurus is, and Taurus would be where Aquarius is on this chart, on this slide. So just know that. So it's just that I did that because I wanted to have three groups here, because I have the trine and everything. I just want to kind of put it that way. But if you notice the natal charts here, those charts here with the circle and the lines on it, and you have one here where you can see where the trine was like 1, 2, 3 trines like took place. And then you have over here grafted a trine that has been grafted here on the left with that natal chart. Very significant, very important. It's showing you the alignment of what a trine would look like. It's 120 degrees placed on this chart here. And then you'll see here, I just put the ruling planets next to the signs. And then I labeled the groups because the spirit, you have the spirit, you have the soul, and the body. That's three. That's the Trinity. And so this, I kind of put this together. This is not originally how they have this is not how they have the zodiac and all that set up these days. The next slide will be it. So yeah, so this is how it's viewed these days. And the reason why I did it the other way is because I know planets can be positioned in different, they can move, right? But I thought about it. I said, well, Earth is a planet, because I felt like I just wanted to put only the elements on the previous slide. That's why I just used those, because I wanted on. But Earth, I don't feel like Earth is the element, right? So that's why I did it that way. But here, the definition of a square is supposed to be, okay, so a square is when two planets sit 90 degrees away from one another. This is where you get energetic blocks and obstacles in the world, challenging, a mountain to climb, optimistic. Okay, so you have earth, wind, water, and fire, right? These are the four. They said the four elements, which I only on the previous slide I only showed that there's the three elements, right? But here they have the earth here, and also this is how it's generally viewed by across the board. Um, because like I said, our Aquarius, I felt like Aquarius was like aqua means water, so I put it in a group with the water signs and so forth and switched it up. But this is basically it. But Aquarius is supposed to be a air sign, which I think more correlates with spirit, wind, air. You see. And then down here you have the other signs with the fire sign and the but I'll let you read that. Um, but I put the planets next to it, the ruling planets next to it. So You'll see. So it's all about the energy, right? And the position of the planets. So next we have sextile. Now with sextile is when two planets sit 60 degrees from one another, symbolically the gatekeepers to a beautiful healing. It is a combination of tension and flow and can lead to great reward. It is like an unattended garden, but if attended, can and will yield its bountiful fruits. So here with the sextile, it is said to be great potential here. And when you look at in the center there, if you look at the chart, you see all those lines in there in the middle? That's showing how much potential is in there within that circle. Okay. But in this situation, this potential could be like a missed opportunity, or if you don't make your intention, if you don't make your intention as being important, you set an intention. So knowing what your desire is or your purpose is important. So it's important to know this, okay? To know the soul's purpose. So move through life with unshakable integrity and growth and achievement. Because that when you set an intention, then that means that you'll be able to not miss that opportunity. Okay, because it's more like you're not if you don't attend to your purpose and all that, it could be like a missed opportunity, right? That's what the sextile is about. You have the yin and the yang, which is the feminine. The yang represents the masculine on the right side, and then you have the planets ruling those signs. You have the signs with their ruling planets. These are the signs with their ruling planets. There's 12 signs, and there's 12 heavenly bodies. Just put it like that. The heavenly bodies that rule the planets, and some of them have two, as you can see. Some of these signs have two planets that rule. And like we said, like we witnessed before, that Pluto was not, considered. Now it's being considered once more now and again. How about that? So I wanted to go ahead on and put in here as well, just kind of recap over what the chakras, the meditation. I wanted to also compare a little bit with Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Now notice I said hierarchy of needs, right? That means needs. That's all that means, right? So this is something that we learned in school, back in school. And when I look at it and I make a comparison with the chakras, so there's 7 chakras in the body, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, yeah. Well, 7 that we're looking at, 7 main chakras that we look at that's near the body, right? But there's 12 chakras altogether, major chakras, put it that way. We already talked about that before. So there's 12 chakras mainly, but in the body we got 6. The 7th one is the crown chakra, which is right above the head. Now, when you look at Maslow's hierarchy of needs, now that's important that you recognize that there's needs, okay? Because if it's just like saying, okay, if you have your physical person taken care of, you have your family, you have balance, you have health, you have your food, clothes, housing, and all that. You have safety. That's your safety and all, right? And love and belonging, self-esteem. If you look at that, because if you look at the your self-esteem is there where your solar plexus is. Personal power, inner strength, determination, self-mastery, and then self-actualization is right there. I'm thinking is right there with your inner child. Forgiveness, play, earth. I'm sorry. Forgiveness and play. Okay, the earth. So when you get to the heart chakra, and I just kind of put on some of the planets or the heavenly bodies that kind of also rule, that are connected there with those chakras. But when you get to the heart chakra, that's basically all you need right there. You don't do you need to develop your language? No. Do you need to have intuition and grow spiritually? No, most people don't. I mean, I won't say most people don't. I'm saying that this is I feel like it is necessary. It's very necessary. If you plan to grow, if you plan to ascend, if you plan to reach your highest potential, okay? Because there's a lot of potential, okay? You can miss the opportunities we're just talking about. So, but you could just have all your needs met. You could just stop right there. And those of you who do not, aspire to have any further spiritual awakening or have any other, desires to grow spiritually, then you don't have to. You could just stop right there. And the way I hear some people talk, that's just the way they are. They just want to be cut off right there. But think about it. You could just have all your needs met. You'd be good. But there are people who wants to grow spiritually or be more spiritually awake. They work on their communication. They work on their self-expression and all that, and that involves the throat chakra. You see, you going higher and higher, going up. You starting to your growth and development, okay, is going to expand once you begin to work on your communication, because communication is key to everything, like relationships, all this, okay. And then intuition, subconscious, and all of that. When you get into the meditation and all of that, that's where meditation comes in at, because in dreams and different things that you continue to develop yourself in this area, then you begin to go higher. This is what this channel is all about, elevating your consciousness. But you can stay down there if you want to. Nobody's not going to fight you and argue with you about you wanting to stay down there. Okay, and just be, self-actualize. Because we know it's not just about ourselves. It's about, guess what? It's about, it expands further than that. Because we're connected with something bigger, as we keep saying, right? So let's move to the next slide. This information, the resource that I've been using is from a chakra, little chakra guidebook by Rochelle Charmaine, and also Lily Ashwell. I'm using a little guidebook from there in regards to the astrology aspects, okay? So I want to go ahead on and also recap some information that we talked about previously already in Revelations. In Revelation we talked about this before, but I want to go into it here. I want to touch on it a little bit more. So in Revelation it says, having the glory of God, and her light was like unto a stone, most precious, even like a jasper stone, clear as crystal, and had a wall great and high, and had 12 gates, and at the gates 12 angels, and the names written thereon, which are the names of the 12 tribes of the children of Israel. On the east, 3 gates. On the north, 3 gates. On the south, 3 gates. On the west, 3 gates. And the wall of the city had 12 foundations, and in them the names of the 12 apostles of the Lamb. And he that talked with me had a golden reed to measure the city, and the gates thereof, and the wall thereof. And the city lieth 4 square, and the length is as large as the breadth. And he measured the city with the reed, 12,000 furlongs. The length and the breadth and the height of it are equal. Now, when you look on the left here, I kind of made a little comparison on how, because we know all those 12 gates, and there's also 12 fruits, right? That they talked about in the scriptures about 12 fruits. Now, the chakras, the signs, the planets, and the stones, and the stars, and the houses, because there's also houses in relationship to the planets, that have a relationship to the planets, to the signs, and all of that. Okay, so but I kind of said, because so the gates, when you think about the gates, right? A gate can be viewed as a portal. This is something that to provoke thought here. A gate can be viewed as a portal, can it? Just like the chakras. Activate the chakras. Activate the portals. The angels could be like the signs, because angels are messengers. Okay, when you think about angels, angels could be your ancestors. That could be anybody on earth here. Okay, don't get stuck in just one definition what an angel is. Tribes, tribes can be like the planets. Could represent the planets. The foundations. The foundations could be made of stones. 12 foundations, there's 12 stones. It says there's 12 foundations, and there's 12 stones, and there could be 12 apostles. It could be the 12 apostles could be 12 stars. Yeah, apostles. Stars is like, that could represent that. And the 12 fruits could be the houses. Could be like the houses. 12 fruits. That's just provoking thought. I just put that up. I just put that together. So, but I did, like I said, I wasn't the only one that there's a like I put in the other video. The other video, High Frequency Vibrations, Part 2. I put in that video what I got offline, the information. And I got this out the scripture, so I wanted to put the scriptures actually out there. But this is where I got the idea from the last video. So I just kind of put it together to show, perhaps, there may be some correlation, there may be some link to this whole idea about the gates and all that. Put a comment below if you have any further ideas on this, and if this is something that perhaps you think makes sense to you. I mean, I need to fix this part here because it's kind of got out of place here. But yeah, put a comment below if you think that makes sense. I kind of because it's 12. You know what I mean? If there's 12 chakras, there's 12 planets. Yeah, I think it's very interesting. But since we up here flying high, we're gonna need to just go ahead on and just think outside the box. This is a couple links rather. These are a couple links here. The first one is like 11-minute video. It's talking about the planet Mercury. And this next link here is about the space technology. It's just this is a lot of videos that you can, watch in regards to, how, our planning and everything, and what, some of the technologies that's out there that's going on, that's actually going on. Now, polarity versus singularity. I'm just kind of recapping that, because how can we do things better and more efficiently? Because since our planet, not only do we need to be reborn and renewing our minds, but our planet. This is the energy that our planet is in rebirthing and being transformed. So no wonder we need transformers, right? We need transformers, um, equalizers, ascended masters, okay? Which, the archangels, and we need all that, because it kind of taking me back at this juncture here where things kind of getting a little bit more complicated. Some videos are like kind of a breeze, but then some of these, sometimes, like right here, I'm getting to a point where things are getting more, kind of like in, more important in a lot of ways, but important and more, it's just getting to be more complex in a lot of ways. Although, our bodies, it's simple for us to be in this body, but in the end of the day, um, I'm just seeing that I'm reaching a point here where I think I said back in the, like one of my first videos that I started out on YouTube, and I said that I don't know, I forgot what I said. But yes, oh yes, this is what I said. We need some superheroes, right? We need some superheroes out here. Yes. And we look at a lot of those, we be looking at TV and think, but I'm sorry, a lot of things you see on TV, a lot of that stuff seem to be real. And a lot of us don't believe that. So because we don't watch, a lot of people don't even watch TV like that. But we need transformers, okay? We need moon masters and everything. Like, I think I'm thinking like the moon, the equalizers, right? We talked about that, because we, and the archangels and everybody that is as at work, it's it's hard at work, helping to transform the planet. So we got to be thinking about what we can do to make things better and work more efficiently. This is what the transformers are, and these masters and all these people are doing, um, to transform the planet. Yeah. So this is something that you should be very, very concerned about and very involved with, because whatever goes on in these planets is affecting your energy. Okay, it's affecting your energy. So that's why this is important for you, because as above, so below. How did you miss that? We cannot miss that. Now, when you talk about transformation, we need transform. We talk about rebirth. We need to be reborn. We transcendence, ascend. You need to ascend. So you can get right there and stop and say, well, I'm already self-actualized. I don't need anybody. I don't need anything else. And whatever the case is. But at the end of the day, if you want to be spiritually awakening, if you're going to be spiritually awakened, if you're going to ascend, then it has to start inside of you. It has to start with you. It has to start each one of us. It has to start there. Because you cannot give birth unless you have to conceive it first. It has to be conceived inside, right? First, before it can be birthed out. That's what, transcending, ascension. And then also, this idea of transmutation is another factor that is being playing into this as well. This situation with the DNA. Now, the planets is a factor here as well, because there is information. I'm going to do a little bit more research on that to bring out the information, but which I've already talked about it in so many words, like when I was talking about the Merkaba, right? The Merkaba. Because when we see with the planet's going to be doing something, and I gotta get that down. I gotta get that and put it, because I'm not sure I'm going to say this right now, but when these things on Earth take place, as the Earth is beginning to renew itself and rebirth itself or what have you, the same thing is happening, as above, so below. Pretty much put it simple. Just put it simple and plain. And you doing your meditation, and you aligning yourself with the earth and aligning yourself with the cosmos and all of that. That is also, you're also playing a part. You're being very instrumental in upgrading your own DNA just through your spiritual awakening, and you're participating in that and wanting to not just you don't just want to survive. You're thriving when you do that. And the fact that the planets, the alignment already took place, and also to bring this all into fruition. And now it's just a matter of us, and some of us, playing these roles, in the ascension. You're doing all you can do. You're doing your work to ascend, and we're being born again, and all of that. It's gonna change us. It's gonna change it. We're gonna have an opportunity to upgrade ourselves. Just that the planet's upgrading, guess what? We're going to be upgraded. And your DNA is just, the blueprint. Okay? God, we've been promised everlasting life. We don't supposed to be just dying, at these young ages, 50 or whatever. We're supposed to expand, or having the opportunity to be able to, just continue on, get the most out of life, right? And rather, because it's everlasting life, rather you shuffle off this mortal coil right here and right now or whatever, guess what? You can also have a new opportunity, and even after that. That's what everlasting life is as well. So, death is not always the end of everything, but guess what? Because if there's death, there's rebirth. It's what we just want to know that there's going to be a continuation of but yeah, I just wanted to talk a little bit about that, and appreciate all that is, everything that we have, the abundance of the earth and everything that we've been given. If you get that, if you have any more ideas about the polarity versus the singularity, which from my standpoint, what I'm thinking is singularity being more of the oneness that takes place. It's like the polarity when you have like it's like the two becoming one, basically. singularity is the oneness. It's really when, it's going to be something, the two coming and making something entirely different, being transformed. All right, so having said that, I appreciate and love each and every one of you. Please like, share, and subscribe to the video. And I will be back. Okay, family, I just wanted to, my divine family, I wanted to recap this video. As you see the title, Remembering, Respecting, Observing, and Bereaving. Because I'm sure, along with myself, there have been a lot of us who have lost loved ones in the past few years, if not, several loved ones. But recapping this video, before we get into that, please like, share, comment, and subscribe. One of the things you have to realize when you lose a loved one, in the end of the day, if you have faith, you know that they're always with you. And so I just want to remind you of that. They're always with you. Okay? Okay, since we've been talking about the heavenly bodies, I want to recap a couple things. First, I want to bring to your remembrance in regards to the great conjunction that took place in 2020. The conjunction between Jupiter and Saturn, those two gas giants. And we've been did a video on it and everything. But you see that that conjunction that took place, and we talked about what a conjunction is, so this is very much relevant to what we're going to continue to talk about for just a few minutes here. You see, that set us up for unity. It set us up to become aligned with our highest purpose. You see, Jupiter is all about dreaming big, or big things for that matter. You see, the higher mind, growth, and expansion, as well as faith. Yes, faith. You see, believing is seeing and not the other way around. Saturn also, on the other hand, is about healing and self-discipline. Secondly, I wanted to bring to our remembrance about just what we just previously went over in regards to Pluto being once more now and again observed in our solar system. You see, Pluto reveals toxicity in the systems. The system we now lean on, and in many cases have become complacent. And now we have to move from who we think we are into who we really are, meaning death to the old and birth to the new, or rebirth. You see, new person, new paradigms, new earth, new prototypes, new systems, and new ways of doing things. You see a snapshot of what that may look like. When you first talk about self-discipline, right? We already been talking about self-actualization in the previous slides. And here we can say self-care. You see, self-hate needs self-care. Self-driving cars, self-monitoring, self-banking, self-cleaning, self-watering, and it could become a little facetious in a little while, but that's a snapshot of what things we're moving towards and how things perhaps may look. You see, self-actualization is just only the beginning. Pluto is your ticket to the evolution of your soul and will trigger your survival instincts. Pluto is your loving but not so friendly guide through your personal underworld. You see where we have the secrets. There are some things that are going to have to be exposed here. The overall energy of Pluto is transformation and the soul's evolution. Nonetheless, the potential is there to be made anew, to transform. And it is a call to rise up to your highest potential, to be transformed, and also to transcend. You see, transcendence means existence or experience beyond the normal or physical level. You see, we're going beyond the limits or normal boundaries. You see, I don't think we're going back to a new normal, but we're going beyond normal, meaning there's something that we have not seen before. This means that we are going to have to dream big, family. You see, it also talked about that Pluto coming back into our solar system, being observed now in our solar system again. They mentioned the North Node of Destiny. Did you notice that? The North Node of Destiny is an intense. You see, the North Node of Destiny means you're moving towards. You see, you're moving towards your destiny. You're moving towards. This is what you want to be doing. Moving towards an intense revolution, a resolution, strength, a powerful, determination. You see, it's not all about gloom and doom, although we may have a mountain to climb. And so just like MLK said, I've seen the mountaintop, right? It's not all about total catastrophe. Okay? When it came, you see, why would you leave your destiny up to chance when it can be a matter of choice? You see, we got this. You see, because that's great potential. Although there may be some mountains to climb, there's still great potential. But it's up to us to take the opportunity to rise up. You see, coming from a place when we've been meditating. See, we've been meditating. We're coming from a place where little is said, little is heard, but much is known. Okay? As one of my mentors said, he said, your destiny is not left up to chance, but it's a matter of choice. Having said that, again, the North Node of Destiny is about ascending. You see, it's your soul's karmic path, your life purpose. What did you come on the planet to learn? This is the question you need to ask yourself. And what are you going to bring? So whatever you're going to bring, we got to bring it, family. We got to bring it. Because we are the co-creators of our own destiny. Like I said, we need some superheroes and the Transformers, Equalizers, Ascended Masters. They're all on the scene, ready to rebuild, ready to transform the planet. Our solar system again, they mentioned the North Node of Destiny. Did you notice that? The North Node of Destiny is an intense. You see, the North Node of Destiny means you're moving towards. You see, you're moving towards your destiny. You're moving towards. This is what you want to be doing. Moving towards an intense revolution, a resolution, strength, a powerful, determination. You see, it's not all about gloom and doom, although we may have a mountain to climb. And so just like MLK said, I've seen the mountaintop, right? It's not all about total catastrophe. Okay? When it came, you see, why would you leave your destiny up to chance when it can be a matter of choice? You see, we got this. You see, because that's great potential. Although there may be some mountains to climb, there's still great potential. But it's up to us to take the opportunity to rise up. You see, coming from a place when we've been meditating. See, we've been meditating. We're coming from a place where little is said, little is heard, but much is known. Okay? As one of my mentors said, he said, your destiny is not left up to chance, but it's a matter of choice. Having said that, again, the north node of destiny is about ascending. You see, it's your soul's karmic path, your life purpose. What did you come on the planet to learn? This is the question you need to ask yourself. And what are you going to bring? So whatever you're going to bring, we got to bring it, family. We got to bring it. Because we are the co-creators of our own destiny. Like I said, we need some superheroes and the Transformers, Equalizers, Ascended Masters. They're all on the scene, ready to rebuild, ready to transform the planet. And not only that, we're being transformed in ourselves. And see, all we got to do is we got to appreciate and we got to celebrate as if we already, as if it's already done, because we already won. Having said that, thanks for watching, thanks for listening, and as always, I love and appreciate each and every one of you.